What's up guys, Cornelius Franklin here, and today we're going to be talking about stabilizing footage when Warp Stabilizer fails you. So ideally you want to make sure that your footage is stable before you even get it into the editing software. So you want to use things like a gimbal or a glide cam or something like that. But sometimes it isn't stable and it's still got some shake to it. So we're going to have a look at how to stabilize footage in post. So the first thing you're going to want to do, here we have our clip. And we're going to open up effects, the effects panel, and find Warp Stabilizer. And we're going to drag this onto the clip. But we've sped up the clip 400 times because it was originally shot in slow motion and we wanted it to play back at real time. And this means Warp Stabilizer isn't going to stabilize it. Sorry guys, I guess we should give up. Nah, not really. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is side clip, go up and choose Nest. Now what this is going to do is it is going to bake all of those settings, the speeding it up, into a different sequence and then bring that sequence into here as a separate clip. And now Warp Stabilizer will work on it just fine. Okay, so now Warp Stabilizer has worked its magic and, well, the footage is looking kind of like it was made out of jello. It hasn't worked again. So it's now time to wave the white flag and admit failure. Nah, there are some more methods of stabilizing your footage, but we're gonna have to jump out of Premiere Pro into After Effects. So don't worry, it's not too scary. This one's actually very simple. What you're gonna want to do is side click, go up to Replace with After Effects Composition. This here is gonna open that video clip into After Effects Composition and you'll be ready to do some stabilization magic in After Effects. Ooh, this is gonna be exciting. So once it's opened, it's gonna ask you to name your save as file. We're just gonna call this one 400 because it's 400% faster than it was previously. Okay, now we've got that video clip in here and it's still shaky. So what you're gonna want to do is open up on the side panel here the tracking window. Now what this is going to do is it's got multiple different methods of actually tracking your footage, tracking what's going on inside there. So you've got track camera, track motion, Warp Stabilizer, which is basically the same as in Premiere Pro, and stabilize motion. Stabilize motion is the one we're going to use. So you just click stabilize motion and it's going to give you these little squares here. This is your tracking points. This is what it's going to track to actually stabilize the footage. So what you're going to want to do with this one here is you're going to want to find something in your footage that has a high level of contrast between the actual footage and the thing you're trying to track. So in this case here, right up here by these beach huts, there was this little rescue device thing which is bright red against some other colors, which means that it's going to be easily trackable. And we're just going to hit play forwards to track the footage forwards, and it is going to go and work its magic in every frame and track that object. After it's done tracking that object, what you're going to do is you're going to click apply and OK. This is going to apply that tracking information to stabilize the footage. And you click play, you can see that the footage is looking nice and stable, but we've got these strange little kind of black bars showing in the edge. That is because the way this here is stabilizing is by adjusting every single frame the position. Okay, so it's adjusting its up, down, left, right position of the video clip, which it's going to give you those black bars around the edge because the clip's now moved off out of the side of the sequence to stabilize it. Easily fixed. What you're going to do is choose transform down to scale and just scale in a tiny bit. This is going to now go and they're all gone because you've just scaled it in, so now it's not moving quite so far off to the side because the clip's scaled in. But now we're in here and we've done that stabilizing, we can actually stabilize to some other objects. In this case, we're going to stabilize this footage to my head to give me an interesting effect. So again, you're just going to click stabilize motion, grab this little tracker, and I'm going to plant this on my head. Now luckily I have a tiny section of blonde on the back of my head, which is going to make this easier to track. If not, it's easier to track actually the front of the face because you've got eyes, noses, all sorts of objects which actually work very well for tracking. And we're just going to play this forwards Okay, and now it has tracked that again, apply, okay, and we have a sequence where it is now stabilized to my head. Again, we're gonna have to go down to transform and adjust the scale in. This is actually better if you've actually shot the video clip in 4K. You've got a little bit more wiggle room to actually adjust the scale. And now this video clip is nicely stabilized to my head. Okay, let's click close and save. And that's gonna just bring that video clip straight back into here, and you're gonna have your footage, which is stabilized to the back of your head. It's gonna have a red bar over the top of it. That means it hasn't rendered at all. So to render that, you're just gonna click enter, and it's gonna render through anything which has a red bar over the top. So you can see there are a number of ways of stabilizing footage in post. None of them are going to be as good as stabilizing your footage as you shoot it. So you want to try and make sure that you get that footage as stable as possible before you even bring it into your editing system. If you guys like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. It does make a difference. Consider hitting that subscribe button. We have videos coming out every single week on different filmmaking, cinematography, all that good stuff. And drop a comment down below if you have any questions on filming, cinematography, or photography, and we'll be sure to get back to you. See you guys next time.